It's August 16th, 2024. Bill Apter down here at Apter's Alley. This past few days absolutely sucks. Yeah, you don't hear me using that kind of language too often, but Kevin Sullivan, Dennis Brent, one of the greats behind the scenes in uh, Texas, down in the Von Erich days and the WCW days. He was editor of the WCW magazine. Um, One of my best friends, Tom Goldblum. Um, we buried him today. This is just an hour after he came back from the cemetery. Gonna miss him. He was one of my biggest supporters, known him close to 40 years. Rest in peace, Tom. And now the horrible, horrible news to cap it off that AFA, the Wild Samoan, AFA Anoa'i Sr., has died. Just a few weeks ago, if you remember, his brother Sika died as well. AFA's been sick for quite a long time, but what he left in terms of his stamp in life and in the business of pro wrestling is just absolutely astounding. And in life, the father that he was to his children, the loving husband to Lynn, and so many friends. So I first, wow, this is very difficult because I first met him, he and Sika, early 1970, mid 1971 or 1972, when they were working as a tag team up in Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Um, Jack Tunney had brought them in as the Islanders, and I met them backstage, and we just struck up a wonderful friendship. Um, Through the years, um, we kept in touch, and then the big break when they came into the WWF, and oh my God, the pairing with Captain Lou Albano and the Wild Samoans was just, there was nothing better. It was nothing better. It was fantastic. He was the spokesman. My Samoans are going to do this, and my Samoans are going to, and they would stand there with their wild hair. And they come into the ring and just be crazed maniacs with Albano at ringside. That's that was their ring talk was and every time I talked to him through the years, including up to about a month ago, and including to his wife and his daughter and his sons, it was always shish. My son Brandon was a huge wrestling fan, and one day I called off and I said, "Could I bring him to your training camp in Allentown, WXW Wild Samoan training camp?" And he said, "Of course." And Brandon, probably about 10 to 12 years old at that time, put in the ring, taught a little bit how to work, and had a match against some of office students. It's just a great memory of something never ever forgot. The photo sessions of Alpha and Siko when I bring raw chicken for them to tear apart and put it in their mouth and play the characters, but more so than the wrestling character that he was in terms of the wrestling business was the people that he trained. Uh, God, Dave Batista. I mean, there were dozens and dozens. And my one of my best friends, Big Cheese, Sal Corrente, always kept in touch with me because he worked for AFA for many times, did a lot of international trips with AFA and Sika. Um, and a few nights ago, he called me and he says, it's not looking too good. Um, and then, oh, well, one thing I need to point out. He asked me one time, he said to me when he was running WXW in Allentown, Pennsylvania, his federation, he said, I'd like you to become the commish. And I said, oh, I'd love to become the commissioner there. And I told him I'm going to use the term, I'm the commission, I do what I wish. And he said that was wonderful. So we became even bonded closer because I was at all the shows that he and his son Samu, who, by the way, I didn't mean to leave you out, his son Sam, uh, just was absolutely fabulous time in my career. I absolutely loved doing that. And as a matter of fact, um, 2002, they made this plaque for me, in appreciation, Wonderful Willie, go after as WXW Commissioner, 2002. I loved my days being the commish there. In the last few years, his health hadn't been good at all, um, but he kept up with his family commitments. He showed up at some of the shows in Florida under the WXW banner. And it's just so very hard to say farewell to someone who mentored so many people, loved so many people, and just had such a far-reaching, loving arms to keep this business going, and keep it in kayfabe too. He never really broke kayfabe, even in modern day when kayfabe was a thing of the past. He would always keep to it. Hall of Famer, the Samoans. He's a Hall of Famer, Ian Sika, in life. I'm going to miss you. Love you very much. And yeah, I got to end this with